play the Injured Blade Master, but then... And then I'd play Earth Elemental the following turn, and then nothing, right? So I think I don't want to whiff on turn 6. So I think I'll just still Totem. He's starting off pretty slow, so maybe I can afford to, too. I don't know. Thanks for following, Flagellitis. So now I can play Earth Elemental. Hopefully he doesn't have BGH or TBK. Already coined, so he won't be able to follow it up directly with TBK. That's good. And then I can play the Injured Blade Master after that, and Healing Totem should hopefully stall me out. So I think this is decent. Can definitely get blown out by BGH. I have been seeing BGHs around some, but like, they're not as common as they sometimes seem to be. Okay. Well, I like that Ancestral Healing. I think I'm actually going to prefer to put it on this Earth Elemental. 6 health is better than getting 4 health. It's on a higher attack a minion, and by only having 1 taunt, it kind of protects the other guy so that he can heal behind a taunt. That seems pretty good to me. Hey there, Anson. So I think this person seems to not be familiar with taunt, which is super weird for someone at rank 76. Yeah, I know, right? He's trying to trick us. Alright, well, he doesn't seem to have an answer. I'll probably take a quick Faceless here. Usually getting Earth Elemental off of Faceless is pretty good value. I'm not gonna try to rush him down or anything. The Cairn and Fire Elemental, those are all good, but I think I can play them on another turn, and I might not always have a good Faceless target like I do here. I'm gonna continue to play for the board, though. Usually, there's not a rush to go face in pretty much any matchup, but especially in this matchup, where we have taunts down and we have a lot of health and we're not really worried about combo yet or anything. Next turn, we have 3 6-cost minions, and it's pretty clear that you just play whichever one lines up well with what he plays. Oh, well, or I could just take another Faceless. I mean, if he didn't have an answer to these first 2 Earth Elementals, I guess I should just keep popping them down, right? And then I can also play an Injured Blade Master along with it, which will continue to heal up with the Healing Totem. That Healing Totem is really doing a lot of work for us in this round. It's great. Taking a lot of time to think about this one. Or maybe Rage Quit? This looks like a Rage Quit. That happens a lot. There's no real AoE we have to worry about here. So we don't quite have lethal. I'm just going to keep developing our board then. And it should be over. This is an extremely favored matchup, I think. Like, I haven't really been keeping track of my matchup records like I often do, but it feels very, very much in our favor. So hopefully we run into more of these druids. Really any type of druid. Hey, we're back up to 7. 7's the best I've done this season, I guess the best I've ever done at any point. Alright, another druid. That's probably good for us. Again, we have that mana tide totem at the start, which I do think is pretty good against druid. The facelesses were nice, but I still think I'd rather draw them later. And then ideally what happens is you drop mana tide totem. They try to respond by playing something to challenge the mana tide totem, and then you tuck it behind a shield master, and then they have to either waste some premium removal, or they just can't deal with the mana tide totem, and you just kind of run away with it as you get too far ahead in card advantage. It's good to see that Hex too, because if they do some sort of crazy innervate play at the start of the game, you can just frog them. That's pretty good. Safety valve. I really like taunt totems as my first totem whenever I have a tide totem. Oh man, you wasted a Wrath on that. He's gonna, well, there's a good chance that means that he has another Wrath, so maybe that's just what's gonna hit this mana tide totem, but I still like to see them spend the Wrath. Uh-oh. Disconnected. That's no good. Yeah, sorry for that disconnect. I don't know. My internet's not holding up. I don't think I've faced this person before. Yeah, he did have the other Wrath. I figured that's what that early Wrath meant. But now he's out of Wrath, so that's probably sort of good. Keep with the Shield Master. Injured Blade Master Ancestral Spirit is a really good tempo play. That's basically a Cairn for 5 mana. I'll take that. Yeah, Yeti doesn't change my mind. I can use the Earth Elemental to finish off the Yeti next turn, probably anyway. Get pretty good tempo against druids. Win that way. A token druid, huh? Well, I have a lightning storm. Maybe I'll have to use that. Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen here. I mean, there's not often that much better uses of a lightning storm against a druid anyway, and like, I don't have a really good way to kill this. Hex is kind of overkill. Fire Elemental into that is not very efficient. I could buff, there's no reason to buff it with Blood Mage Thalanos. I'd probably rather use the last 3 mana on this Farsight, so let's do that. My next turn's a little awkward, I guess, because I won't be able to afford the lightning, or the Fire Elemental. I think that's okay. Does that change anything? Maybe. I think I don't want to use that lightning bolt. I think I'd rather just do this and not leave myself vulnerable to Keeper, and save that lightning bolt for a turn where I don't have a way to answer his board. I also have this Blood Mage Thanos that can buff it a little bit, maybe. That might be useful. So that's probably just going to get hexed away, right? Yeah. I don't want to give him. I don't have any other clean way to deal with that doesn't maybe give him something good. We have some other removal that we can use for things that don't have dangerous death rattle, so the silence effect is what's important here. I guess I'll hold on to that Blood Mage Thanos because I do have that lightning bolt. Would have been nice to get a different totem, probably. Alright, I think we're doing well here. Yeah, hexes are nice for those guys, too. Let's see here, Fire Elemental, Lightning Bolt. That deals with it. Could also just Faceless and punt on it for a turn. Let's be aggressive. And then, I don't actually need the Blood Mage Thanos with the Lightning Bolt, but I'm going to play this Lightning Bolt. It's my last spell that has damage. I think I want to be able to cycle that Blood Mage Thanos soon. So I'll just drop it here. Let's see here. Buff Swipe would be annoying. That would be about the worst thing you could do. He doesn't have like a great way to do that though. He doesn't have the coin anymore. You'd have to like innervate or... Do they run Blood Mage Thanos and a token druid? Maybe. That's probably true. You probably would Black Knight me. Well, I have an easy way to play around that. Yeah, I think... I mean, the risk that I'm running here is that if I don't Faceless this, it's not clear I'm going to draw something worth Facelessing soon enough. But I think I like just pushing like this. So I'm going to first draw a card. Ooh, I like that draw. That's pretty good. I am going to take the Faceless. I mean, maybe he does have the answer. Maybe he does have the TBK, but let's... I mean, if we can draw the TBK out now, there's other things that have taunt in our deck. It's just tough whenever you have both Facelesses in your hand. Like, you can really get in a spot where they manage to kill all your good minions off, and then you have nothing to play with it. This feels kind of weak. I mean, like, usually you can get better stuff off of Facelesses than this, but he didn't have an answer to the first one, so I think we just keep going with these. And I will keep the board clean. Do I Ancestral Healing on... Yeah, I think I don't need the extra taunt. I'd rather just have something tucked behind taunt. Alright, we got him. Cool. Yep, that sounds about right. It's really hard to move up ranks from here. Burnsy, a rogue. Almost certainly a miracle rogue. So, with Miracle Rogue, the goal is to try to make them burn their saps early, and then get some taunt to stick. And these are ways to burn saps early. It sucks to have them sap your Earth Elemental for sure. And like sapping an injured Blade Master that's been healed also deletes the healing, but you need to somehow get those saps out. So I'm keeping this hand. It's nice to have some way to try to kill the Auctioneer, but as is often the case with Shaman, it's hard to guarantee it. You need like Lightning Storm, but you need a buff. So you need like to either roll Spell Power Totem, or this Wild Pyro can do it. Wild Pyro is actually the most reliable way to do it. Or Blood Mage Thanos. So you have some ways to do it. But even then, you're relying on RNG, right? Because you need to high roll if you just have one of those things. Wild Pyro is the most consistent course because you can play multiple spells. Alright, I don't have a Lightning Bolt for that, but that's probably okay. So I'd kind of like for this to just get sapped, but I guess it's more likely that he'll probably just kill it since he has a 3/3 on the board. Then I'll drop the Earth Elemental, try to get that sapped, and if he does, I can hope that he doesn't have the second sap, and then just drop Earth Elemental and Ancestral Spirit on 7, and that might be enough to carry me to victory. We'll see though. Farsight's probably the play next turn. Earth Elemental, and then who knows in turn 6. Hopefully I draw something useful by then. Okay, it's not quite enough yet. Interesting. Very interesting. So I might modify that plan that I was going to originally do and just drop the Ancestral Spirit on this injured Blade Master. If that gets sapped, then I can always drop the Earth Elemental on 5, and then he might not have the sap for that. I think that's probably pretty good. It's helpful to apply some pressure like this. I traded on the board because sap would be really bad if I didn't do that, right? Even though getting the sap out is a plan, I can't just let him get a free hit on me. I need to keep my health up. So now he's digging, it looks like. This could go well. He doesn't seem to have good answers to anything yet. I'm okay with him face tanking into the injured Blade Master like that. Well, if he didn't have a sap then, hopefully he won't have one next turn either. Blood Mage Thanos is pretty dangerous. Is this a, what's it called, Edwin play? Spending a lot of resources. Nope, it's not. Huh. Okay. If I were to play Lightning Storm, I would have nothing to do next turn. I don't think I can afford to do that. I feel like I can't pass on the face damage. It kind of matters in this matchup. There is a little bit of inevitability to the rogue that they can do the damage. I mean, if you can get enough taunt up, sometimes you can block it, and then they have to concede when they get through their deck and don't have any way to get through your taunt. But we haven't burned any saps yet. I have 0 other taunts in my hand. I think I'm gonna have to kill him first. I will try to remove the spammer. I'm not sure I know how to do that though. I'm not very sophisticated with Twitch. I don't know how to remove the spammer. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, still pushing damage. Good sign. Ragnaros for next turn. Even if you were to conceal an auctioneer, that's pretty good. All right. Yeah, that's like a pretty good example of how this works well against Miracle Rogue. 2 wins in a row at 7. Still can't get past 7. You can get pretty good tempo if you have the right cards, and if they don't have the right answers early on, it can work well. If they don't have the sap, you know, it's kind of the game. George C plays Freeze Mage. All that matters against Freeze Mage is Ragnaros. So I'm just going to toss all this and try to get Ragnaros. Farsight is good too because it can draw Ragnaros. I guess you could say the same about Blood Mage Thanos, but it's way better when Farsight draws Ragnaros. And actually, Blood Mage Thanos can be useful for buffing your spells to try to burn the mage down. Reach is definitely not the strength of this deck, but Blood Mage Thanos, Lightning Bolt, Fire Elemental is 11 to 13 damage. That can sometimes get the job done. So, our plan is Farsight on turn 3, get Ragnaros off of Farsight. Then we coin into Ragnaros on turn 5 and play Earth on turn 4 and play Earth Elements on turn 5. That's the plan. Our health doesn't matter. At some point, she'll Alex us anyway, so we don't care about our health. Okay, so here's the plan. Farsight into Ragnaros. Nope. Faceless is usually a really good target for a really great card to get off of Farsight. It enables a whole bunch of different combos with like Ancestral Spirit, right? In this matchup, I don't know if it matters very much, though. I'd like to deny the draw on the Acolyte of Pain, but I think it's more important that I actually get some tempo going. So I'm going to do this to make sure it doesn't get an easy draw. I know I'll have Taunt, but I'm like a little worried it won't stick or something. I don't know. I'm going to coin into it though, in the hopes that it survives, and then I can Faceless it next turn. I hope he just goes with like a freeze or something. Facelessing a frozen minion kind of sucks because it actually freezes them another turn. But still. Alright. Getting the Faceless matters more than Ancestral Spirit right now. We just need bodies down fast. Yeah, we don't have any way to get around Ice Barrier. We just have to trigger it. Okay, we got 2 7/8s down by turn 5. So if he doesn't find enough freeze, we'll be in trouble. Unfortunately, I've been letting him draw a ton of cards off his Acolyte. But I think the tempo was more important. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. I haven't quite found a good strategy against Freeze Mage other than try really hard to draw Ragnaros. Which is not a very reliable strategy. But I think just put more bodies down and punish him until he actually starts freezing us. And hopefully we can get into burn range soon. If we draw Ragnaros, then we'll be in burn range. Or an Earth Shock would be a big deal now too. Could try to drop something in the middle of these guys to try to make Cone of Cold less effective. I think Lightning Storm is good. I don't want him to just be able to kill one of the Earth Elementals. It is nice to save the Lightning Storms for the Mirror Image though. I could Hex those, but there are things I need the Hex for, like Antonitis. Also Ancestral Spirit, but I don't think anything's really that close to dying. This is the other thing I need Hex for. I'll Hex that. One thing that would be nice to do here is Ancestral Spirit this, so that when it dies it comes back, and then he can't, even if he blizzards, he won't be able to freeze it. I'd only get 4 damage back, and I don't know if that's impactful enough. I think what I'm actually going to do is going to do Mana Tide Totem. Draw more cards. And if any of these Earth Elementals starts to get low in health, then I can Ancestral Spirit them. And have them come back to life. Off of a blizzard or whatever. And then kind of unfreezes them. Oh, that sucks, doesn't it? So what matters more here? Keeping everything alive? I can do it, right? I can do Blood Mage Thalnos, Lightning Bolt, Earth, Fire Elemental. But then I lose all of my reach. I currently have 6, 14. I don't have enough to kill him anyway, though. That's the problem. I don't think I can let this board get cleared. I don't think I quite have the path to victory if I do. This is a tough call. That spends a lot of our burn. That feels bad. Our board is now full too. It's not, which can often be a problem. We're also out of hard removal, so if we were to like freeze our board with Antonitis down, we'd be in pretty bad shape. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. There's no heal in this deck, because healing kind of sucks in this game. Sure, that's good. Well, let's see if he already has lethal. And if he doesn't have lethal, he needs... what do you call it? That's it. Yeah, that matchup's just terrible. Sometimes if you get Ragnaros, you can win it. I think my decision about spending the removal to kill the Doomsayer was inconsequential, right? Yeah, that wouldn't have saved me if I had passed on that and just let something die with an Ancestral Spirit. He still would have killed me in 2 turns. I queued into George C again. This is not good. Alright. Shield masses are just not that impactful. I'd rather give myself another shot at getting Ragnaros. Earthshocks are really good, actually. They either block Doomsayers or they can unlock a frozen minion to like push a little extra damage. If I were expecting to run into a lot of freeze mages, I would probably make sure that there were 2 Earthshocks in my deck. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, I know. Hunter was a menace, but yeah, I don't know. Hunter is just not very good in this meta, it seems like. I don't want to keep facing George C. How do I not face him? I need to friend him, and then I can see when he's busy. I think you're not the only one missing Grim Patron Warrior accepting. I think I see that sentiment a lot, and I never played it myself, but it was always fun to play against Grim Patron Warrior too, I thought. So I would like that to come back. There's the Ragnaros that I want. We'll see. He comes pretty late. He doesn't always. It's hard to get him down fast enough sometimes. 138. You weren't a big fan of whenever Grim Patron was popular? Did you try playing it? I heard it was really fun to play. When Grim Patron Warrior first came out, it was maybe a bit too strong once people figured it out. But then there was a nerf, right? And it was still used, or did the nerf just totally kill it off? I kind of forget how that went down. There's a bit of a danger. Yeah. Not a dumb question at all. This is classic NA. I'm just gonna let that die. There's no reason to try to keep this alive. Oh, I'm gonna get one more draw though, aren't I? What doesn't matter in my hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 79. Yeah. This Shield Master is just not that impactful. I'm gonna let that die and make more room in my hand. I think the coin is actually a big deal because I want to play Ragnaros on 7 probably. Well, that's annoying. I don't want to use my coin, is the problem. Because I really want to get Ragnaros down, but I can't get anything going here either. This is a bad position to be in. I also like all the cards that I have. Yeah. Faceless is really useful. I don't want to ditch that. I like the cards in my hand. Alright, I think I need to spend a coin here. Just let a card die too. Yeah, I'm gonna coin out Karen. Let the first half of him die. Get a 4/5 out. Might regret that because it means getting Ragnaros out a turn later, which is like kind of a big deal. I need to make him play stuff though. Denying the draw is maybe good enough for me to use my Earth Shock here. And I want to play Earth Elemental this turn so that I'm not overloaded on turn 8. I don't mind being overloaded on turn 7. He's a bit low on resources, actually, so it's not clear that he's going to have to keep having answers. Also, this Ancestral Spirit might matter. That ping on my Earth Elemental makes me think he actually plans to kill it. Maybe he has, like, Fireball. He already spent a Fireball. When did you spend a Fireball? Ah. Okay. Pretty sure this is the play. Okay. Almost certainly Ragnaros next turn. The one downside, actually, of Ancestral Spiriting this Earth Elemental is that he might not spend removal on it, and instead have that removal for Ragnaros next turn. That's, I think, a chance I'm going to have to take. Hopefully Ragnaros lives, and then I can Faceless it, and then I'm doing a lot of damage each turn. Alright. What do we got? 16, 23, so I would get lethal if Ragnaros behaves. Oh, I can force Ragnaros to behave, can't I? If I Hex Lightning Bolt Alex. Okay, no, it's barrier. That was if it were, and there's no way I can turn that into it. I'll put some extra taunt up, I think, just in case he runs polymorph. Probably doesn't. But maybe it would have been better to mana tide totem there and try to find more burn or something like that. Yeah. This matchup is purely just comes down to Ragnaros. It's like if you can get Ragnaros to stick and maybe copy it, or get it down early or something, you can win. But otherwise, it's all over. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't quite have the burn to kill him. Shoot, I didn't draw into it either. Even a high roll on the totem wouldn't quite do it. I'd be one short. Shoot. Screwed up that placement, actually. Whoops. Doesn't matter though, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm worried that he has Wild Pyro, but he'd still have to draw into Ice Block for that to matter. And he wasn't able to ping me there. Yeah! We beat him anyway. Alright. Good. But, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna only play against him. Which is not good. I think none of those really matter. So I'm gonna toss all those back and try to find Ragnaros. Okay. Well, I have a really aggressive hand. I don't know if that matters in this matchup. But I'll try it. Let's give that a shot. Can hex that. Means I get blown out by the next one, right? I think I'm gonna just try to keep pushing damage here. Maybe the card draw off Mana Tide Totem is more important, I don't know. Probably denying a draw is still really valuable against Mage. Ooh, Ragnaros. That's good news. And I have an Ancestral Spirit to play on him, so he won't die. And a Faceless for him. If Doomsayer comes out, I'll be a little annoyed, I guess. But otherwise, we're looking pretty good here. Definitely want a Faceless. Do I want to also Ancestral Spirit another time? Maybe. Sure. And then the other question is, do I also want to Lightning Bolt that away? Yeah, I think so. Push a little more damage. Okay. See if he has Alex. He's had Alex on 9 every game so far. Oh, he's going the hard way. Alright. Does that work? Maybe. Eight, 5, yeah. I still have lethal even if I clear his board and trigger the ice barrier. I just want to cycle the Blood Mage Thanos, I'm pretty sure. I'll save room on my board for another minion. Does he really have the damage to kill me without Alex? That might have been Ice Barrier. Alright, well, whatever. Hey, rank 6! Alright. Yep, it's the 4th game in a row with George C. We're both rank 6. Alright, let's do this again. Alright, I'm digging for probably more or less Ragnaros. I'll keep the Fire Elemental. 3 damage and a 6 attack body kind of matters in this matchup, maybe. Not really, though. Ragnaros is pretty much all that matters. Maybe I should have just thrown that back for another shot to draw Ragnaros. Mana Tide items can draw Ragnaros. They're useful. I want to force him to actually use a card to kill off this Mana Tide Totem, so I will clear out that loot order. Our hand is a lot slower this time. It's actually a little tempting to Ancestral Spirit. That's probably not actually a good idea. That's probably more useful somewhere else. Nah, I want to keep drawing. And I like that better than using the Hex. I need to get Ragnaros. You can of course kill it, but I want to make him spend the thing to do it. Well, what am I really saving this Hex for, you know? I'm doing no damage. It's probably not good. But I am hopefully getting closer to Ragnaros. In the meantime, I will continue to keep this stupid totem alive. Still not getting the card we want. Well, we got one more chance to play Ragnaros on curve. Finally killed that Mana Tide Totem. I need something that can hit for a lot of damage. I'm going to try to keep that Fire Elemental around, or at least make him spend some burn to do it. I don't know, what do I do here? Just throw an even bigger board. I don't think facelessing any of this is going to matter. I could just dump my hands. Might all get cleared out by like a Flame Strike. Does he even run Flame Strike though? indeed. I'm not going to totem. I need to leave a spot for Ragnaros. It does run Flame Strike, it turns out. That's no good. Well, I think we just go. But now he can probably play Alex. Maybe Alex is buried as deep as Ragnaros is. He hadn't played Flame Strike, I don't think, in any of the previous games, so I was starting to wonder if he was running it. I think some don't, but yeah, he's probably running it. He's probably running 2 Flame Strike here, right? Interesting. Can at least do some damage here. It's more important to Lightning Storm than get another Earth Elemental down. That's for sure. Still not really all that close to popping the block yet. Ragnaros would help though. Especially now that I got another Faceless. Okay, I'm making him spend burn to... Well, not that much. A little bit. Oh boy, he killed everything. Okay. That's bad for me. That's real bad. I've made a mistake. I just walked into that Flame Strike way too hard. That was an error. What? This click. Ragnaros, alright. Unfortunately, it's pretty awkward. It's probably not what I wanted there. It's not terrible though, I guess. Hopefully Ragnaros lives. And now I wonder if it'll matter. Yeah, it's maybe too late. Well, let's see here. Maybe not. I can pop the ice block this turn. I assume it's too late, but I did make him spend some... He can't kill me this turn, so it's going to come down to if he has the other ice block. Because he already spent one of his fireballs, so that's pretty much the only way to kill me in one turn. Ah! He wins. Well, so Pyroblast isn't enough, though. So he'd have to have... And he's already used an Ice Lance. So it'd have to be Fireball, Frostbolt, or Fireball. Hey, we actually did get it. Alright, cool. Maybe I'm underestimating this deck's performance against Freeze Mage, and we now are at rank 4. Alright.